Hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Arsenal go 3 points clear on the table. Something like kind of unexpected to a certain extent. I'm not gonna lie. Something a tiny bit unexpected. And of course, one of the biggest things, I don't know it's for everyone, but for me for sure, is the fact that Viktor Gyökeres, the worry about him grows. Because once again, he is goalless, he stays goalless, and it doesn't feel like anything is gonna change very soon. But overall, yeah, Arsenal go 3 points clear. Man United go to Anfield, show how it's done when Arsenal couldn't do it, which is quite interesting to see, to be honest, to a certain extent. But yeah, couldn't be happier, to be honest. 3 points clear. Yes, Liverpool are not following us at the moment, but 3 points is 3 points. That's one game. That is nothing to be too excited about. At the same time, being top of the table, it's quite fantastic to say the least. So like the stream, people, subscribe if you're new. Hope everyone's doing well. And yeah, leave your thoughts in the live chat. How you feeling about Arsenal being 3 points clear? Are you worried about Gyökeres as well? We're going to discuss all that good stuff. Because this game week has been, and well, technically was, because Brentford play West Ham, and that game doesn't influence anything regarding us whatsoever. So we definitely can discuss all those things. Let's just put it that way. Liverpool obviously feels like they are in big trouble, because if you lose to United at Anfield, even more, it is a big worry, to say the least. It is a massive worry in that regard. But yeah, big up AFC always. Shows Arteta is a bitch for not going to for Anfield. To some extent, yes, fully agree. Fans should know that Gyökeres is among the best weapons Arsenal have, and is the issue why Arsenal wins games. I wouldn't say that. Like, Gyökeres is the number 9 that should be scoring goals. If you score over 100 goals in 2 seasons, he should be scoring goals for Arsenal as well, in my opinion. Arsenal, pretty much every single Arsenal fan were saying, as soon as Arsenal get a proper number 9, we are walking the league, pretty much. And we have a proper number 9, and it doesn't feel like we're going to walk the league. It's still undetermined whether we're going to even win the league or not. So for me, the biggest, he doesn't even get proper shots on target. Yes, he had one good shot where Leno made a save, but overall, it is a big worry for me. Big worry. He has 3 goals in 8 games, 2 against Leeds, 1 against Forest, 2 of the lesser teams. Let's just put it that way. No disrespect to Leeds, Nottingham Forest, but he barely gets any chances. The team is not playing to his strengths. The system is not suited for him, and yeah, it's not looking great. To say the least, it's not looking great, especially after you hear Mikel Arteta in a press conference basically say that if you are an Arsenal number 9, he expects sometimes even the striker to go 6 to 8, even more games without a goal, and he should be fine with that. Begs the big question, why did you even sign a striker in the first place? Like, you could have signed someone else. You could have signed a playmaking number 9 as you wanted, something like Jesus, Firmino type. If you wanted someone like that, go sign Julian Alvarez then. Like, I'm kind of confused about all this, I'm not gonna lie. But people are still sticking with all of this, and the worst part is half of the fan base, at least what it feels like on social media, are calling for Gyökeres to be dropped expeditiously to the maximum extent as soon as Havertz is back. And the way Mikel Arteta is speaking about Havertz in press conferences, the fact that he's ahead of schedule, he's fantastic, he's going to be back. Well, he doesn't know, but you expect that. He wants to be back as soon as possible. And the fact that he was expected to be back around mid-late November, but there are talks that he could be back after Brighton game this year already, this month. Yeah, Gyökeres might be holding the bench quite heavily very soon. Quite very soon. But kind of cannot even fault him, can you? Because the team is not helping him. The system, the style, Mikel Arteta is definitely not playing to him. Big up Terry Tibbs. Hope you're doing well. Liverpool in huge trouble, 100%. Liverpool are in a mess right now. Massive mess, to say the least. And how they're going to recover, time only will tell. But it looks like Anfield is not the same as it used to be right now, which is a big worry for them as well. Havertz is starting once he's back. Gyökeres will be benched. Yeah. That's what at least I think as well. I definitely feel that as well, because it's not looking great. It's not looking great. When you barely get a shot, 2 shots a game, when you at halftime have about 7 touches only, an opponent's striker has how did he have? 11, 12, I think Jimenez had in the first half. It is a worry. It definitely is a worry, and Gyökeres obviously doesn't suit the system the way we want to play, with the possession, with the passing, left, right, and center, up and down, and all this stuff. It's a worry. It is definitely a worry because there is no link-up play from number 9. Yes, he drags defenders more onto him because he's a threat in general, whether you like it or not. But at the same time, he doesn't get involved in link-up play. He has 2 bricks, 2 wooden trees for legs, where he cannot pass the ball properly, where he cannot distribute it. His touch also is questionable, to say the least. And that is playing into very big issues with Arsenal. Very big issues. Which is the reason why Havertz most likely is going to start as soon as he's back. Because Havertz, compared to Gyökeres, has the link-up play. He has the ability to take a touch. He has the ability to distribute the ball better than Gyökeres. And with the fact that Havertz has that ability, it actually allows Arsenal to get into certain positions where he can score. The issue is Havertz cannot score. He doesn't have that finishing touch. Gyökeres, on the other hand, he has that finishing touch, but it looks like that due to the fact that he doesn't have the link-up play, he's not getting into those chances, which should be on the manager to actually change the system, to change the style, to cater Gyökeres to help him. And he does none of that. He absolutely does none of that. He persists on playing Gyökeres as he's like the playmaking number 9 or something like that. Big up Gunner for life. Big up Gunner for life. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well today. Big up Hendon. Hendon, hope this morning is treating you well. Gyökeres being sport like how Oba and Laka were by this fraud of manager. Yeah, Gyökeres spent most of the match tracking back. Calafiori played more like a forward. Make it make sense. Exactly. In the first half, Calafiori was best Arsenal forward. He is the best Arsenal forward, ironically enough. He was the most dangerous Arsenal forward as well. And he is a left back. He has such freedom, it's actually insane. Calafiori has more freedom in the attack as a defender than our attackers in general. Why isn't Isak getting the same treatment as Gyökeres? You mean by the fans? Or you mean that he's not getting chances? Because I have seen some Liverpool fans saying that Salah should be dropped. I have seen already that. Isak as well. They are not too happy at the moment, but they are giving him time, as they say. A bit more, maybe 1-2 more games. Regarding Wirtz, I don't know what's happening there. Florian Wirtz, 0 goals, 0 assists in 10 games for Liverpool. That is also not great, is it? It's literally 0-10 he's at the moment. He's been 10. Like, what's happening with that after spending 116 million on him? It's also a big question mark. What is happening like that? Yeah, people, hit the likes and subscribe if you haven't already. Gyökeres being called rubbish and Isak playing just as bad. Yeah. But, Liverpool fans are saying that they should be giving him time. There are also Liverpool fans who are saying that he should be dropped. There are mix and match regarding that. There definitely are mix and match regarding that. But overall, I'm not gonna lie, there definitely are. Liverpool fans they are impatient because Liverpool fans just won the league and they want to do a two-peat and they are nowhere near doing that. Based on how they're performing, they're not gonna do it, at least at the moment. And yeah, Gyökeres, I think the more resonance around Gyökeres is the fact that for the last few years, he was hyped up to be the savior of Arsenal. Not specifically Gyökeres, but a proper number 9. Because I was saying the same thing to a certain extent. That as soon as Arsenal get a proper number 9, right, Arsenal could win the league easily. There was a big asterisk, though, by it. It meant that Arteta should change his system, he should adapt, and he should play to striker strengths, obviously, to do anything. But it's pretty much evident that Arteta wants none of that. And there are Arsenal fans who are saying Havertz should be starting, Gyökeres should be benched heavily. And there are also Arsenal fans who are saying that Arsenal should have signed Šeško instead of actually Gyökeres at the same time as well. The thing is, though, none of them would work. At the end of the day, none of them would work. None of them have the link-up play. Yes, Šeško is taller. He maybe would be better for crosses, but we are definitely not playing to his strengths. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point we see Gyökeres as a left wing, maybe even to some extent. That could be also a thing. Of course, Gyökeres needs time. It's just the nuts part about all of this is that Arteta said in an interview that to give Havertz 55 games to judge him, or 65, whatever it was. I think it was 55, right? 55 games so you can judge him. Despite the fact that first half of the season he played in the midfield and he was awful, and in forward he's actually not that much better. Let's be real. With Gyökeres, we are 8 games in and that's it. It's done. At the same time, it is a worry. Like, it is a worry. Yes, Gyökeres needs time. He needs to adapt and everything. People will say that. But at the moment, it's more on the manager than Gyökeres himself. Because Gyökeres cannot score goals if he doesn't have chances to score goals. And the chances to score goals falls on the players that are around him. And that, again, stems from the manager, from the system and the style at the end of the day. Which, for me, is the biggest worry. Because, obviously, I'm going to say this, a different manager would actually get 10 times more out of Gyökeres. Yeah, and a better manager would help, definitely. Because, for me, personally, you cannot go literally from scoring, obviously, over 100 goals in 2 seasons. I'm not expecting Gyökeres to score 45 goals in Premier League or all competitions for Arsenal this season. I'm not expecting that. But my expectations were that Mikel Arteta will actually do the right thing and adapt. So Gyökeres will get 20-plus goals comfortably in Premier League, 30-plus goals in all competitions. That was my expectation from Gyökeres this season. Based on the current status that we are 8 games in and he has 3 goals. If we keep it going by this narrative, Gyökeres is gonna end up on about 15 goals this season in Premier League. 15. And that is nowhere good enough. People will scold him and call him flop of the season unless Wirtz does even worse, which is at the moment very likely. And yeah, obviously it all stems from the manager at the end of the day. It all stems from the manager. One could understand if Gyökeres was missing loads of chances, exactly. Then I would totally agree with that. If Gyökeres was missing chances, I would question his finishing ability, and I would think that he's out of form or he's not good enough, right? Then obviously that would be a different story. But he just doesn't have the chances. He had that chance 2 days ago against Fulham, right? Where Leno made the save where he shot a cross body. Ideal height for a goalkeeper, it is what it is. At the same time, pretty much the only chance he got the whole game. And in other games, he doesn't even get a proper chance. He doesn't get a proper chance to shoot at the goal. Because the goals he has scored, one has been when he actually got the ball into space like he used to play for Sporting Lisbon, took on the defenders when defenders were on the back foot, dribbled past them like full steam ahead, like a steam locomotive, and slotted it near corner. Another one was just a pity penalty, basically. If that is what we are looking for the whole season, oh my goodness gracious, are we ever doomed to maximum extent? And to add on top of that, the fact that our defenders are scoring more than our forwards, it's actually insane. Because top goal scorers for Arsenal this season, right? Let me check. Top goal scorers for Arsenal in Premier League 2025-26 season. I need this season. Is Viktor Gyökeres with 3 goals. Like, it's not looking great, is it? Wait, where is it? This is definitely not a great look for Arsenal. This is definitely not a great look for Arsenal. These are Arsenal's top goal scorers this season. Gyökeres with 3 in 8. Zubimendi with 2. Timber with 2. Saka with 2. Gabriel, Rice, Calafiori, Merino. There are only 2 attackers in this. Gyökeres with 3 and Saka with 2. Rest of them are defensive midfielders, defenders. Zubimendi, Gabriel, Rice, Calafiori, Merino, all of them are defenders, defensive midfielders. And assists are not looking that hot themselves. Declan Rice and Calafiori have 2 assists. Eze has 2. Then there's Gabriel Magalhaes, Timba, and it's not looking great at the moment. Definitely not looking great. Trossard, Martinelli, what are we going to do? Literally, what are we going to do? Because this graph is not good. Definitely not good. The worry is not for Gyökeres. The biggest worry is always Arteta, and that is the case. Because we know that Gyökeres can score goals. Let's be real. We all know that. We've seen it at Coventry. We've seen it at Sporting Lisbon. We've seen it at Champions League, right? Where the team he plays for, they're decent, good teams. They know how to do the thing. I don't take international break into equation. People say I should, but looking at how Sweden are playing, the Sweden national team, it's not it. They are not the Sweden they used to be and everything. So definitely I wouldn't take too much into account. They have about 5 good players. Rest of them are just whoever they are. But in the league where he plays with some of the best players in the league, let's be real, for him to score only 3 goals and barely get a chance per game pretty much, it's a massive worry. And this is not on Gyökeres as much as it is on the Mikel Arteta and the team. Big up Kuiper Protagonist. Hope you're doing well. I said exactly. Is there a heat map for Gyökeres in the Fulham match? Higher level into the penalty box to open play. Let me check if there is. Gyökeres' heat map against Fulham. Fulham. Where is the Fulham game, though? So, Gyökeres, Viktor Gyökeres, where is the Fulham game? Let me check. I'm getting into it. Well, I mean, let me check if I can find it right now. Where is lineups? Leno, Gyökeres. Wait, I'm new at this streaming thing, people. Okay, this doesn't work. I need to find a proper website for this shit because it's actually kind of insane. There is a Gyökeres heat map. I want to find it because I watched it. It wasn't looking too great. I'm not gonna lie. I genuinely don't know all of these sites everyone goes to do these things, so I'm basically going just off one. Literally, I'm just winging it when I do this. Lineup, Gyökeres. Let me check this now. Where is it? I'm gonna look into it in a second. Big up Yassa, big up Yassa. Resident Chelsea fan in the chat. Chelsea, who did they play? They beat Nottingham Forest. They got unsacked. Big up to you. Big up to you. Big up Sacks as well. Big up Sacks. I'm not too sure how realistic it is, to be honest. But hey, I'm not too sure if it's realistic or not. Is it actually? Wait. So, Premier League. I need Victor. Like, how is this a thing that there is no heat map? How is this that there is no heat map? How is a heat map so difficult to find? I might be dumb as hell, to be honest. I might be dumb as hell. Oh, there we go. This is Gyökeres' heat map against Fulham. This is Gyökeres' heat map against Fulham. Here we go. Good. Yeah, Spurs also lost, which is also great against Villa, but it is what it is. This is Gyökeres' heat map against Fulham. As you can see, he spent most of the time on the edge, near almost a tiny bit inside the box. He didn't get any clear-cut chances. Only chance he got was, well, on the place where there is not that big of a heat map, to be honest, on the right side. But as you can see, he spent a lot of time, most of the time, on the right side, in the midfield, on the edge of the box. He wasn't in the 6-yard box. He was nowhere near that. Technically, Gyökeres gets in good positions. He gets in good positions, but he doesn't get the service as well. He absolutely does not get the service. Like, it is worrying. Let's just put it that way. It is worrying. You buy a striker where Arsenal fans say all the time we are walking the league and everything. But at the end of the day, when you say you walk the league, when you get a striker, you should be playing to that striker. He should be getting chances, and so far he gets none of those, to be honest. He absolutely gets none of those. Zero service, zero help, zero nothing. Zero, absolutely nothing, which is almost... Gyökeres has lost his confidence last year. Gyökeres will be scoring. Yeah, I get it. Last year he would have, but he doesn't even get that many chances to score. That is the bigger issue than anything. Because if he was getting, let's just say, 3-4 chances a game, like Darwin Nunez last year, and he was missing them all, pretty much, I would be worried about Gyökeres himself. But the fact that technically, in finishing wise, also a player's form plays a big factor. The confidence of a player's psychological effect. And the fact that he is not getting chances, he doesn't have even a chance to try and finish, try and score. I think it's playing a big role in this, because somehow Arsenal are expecting him to get one chance in 5 games and he's going to bang. But when Mikel Arteta comes out in a press conference and says that if you are a number 9 for Arsenal, and you should be okay with not scoring 6 to 8 games, where does that make any sense? Where does that make any sense? A number 9 who should be okay with not scoring? What's the point in signing a striker anyways if you're happy with him not scoring? If you're happy that he's not contributing to the game as he should be contributing. His best contributions are basically just running around and playing defense at the time. Like, that doesn't make sense. That midfield against Fulham was so lame, no support for the attack. Yeah, Eze had arguably the worst game I have seen him have pretty much in last year or so. That was also very unhelpful, let's just put it that way. Eze didn't have a good game. He had a shocker. He definitely had a shocker. That was contributing, let's just put it that way, to Viktor Gyökeres' issues, let's just put it that way. But it wasn't great. It definitely wasn't great. But obviously, we still got the win. We still got the win, which is technically great. But at the same time, I am caught in this mindset that at some point, something has to give. At some point, something has to give. Either the performances will catch up to the results, or the results will catch up to the performances. One or the other has to happen. And I'm very dreading that moment, because this won't work long term. Just as we played short corners all of a sudden at times. Long throw-ins as well, getting favored very heavily, which is also not a great look. Like, it is a weapon. as Mikel Arteta says. But overall, it's definitely a worry. It is a worry. Definitely is a worry. And we need to look at this as well. I'm fuming with what is happening to Ethan. Yeah, same. With Ethan Vanieri as well. Like, Odegaard is injured, right? Why don't you play Vanieri? He didn't touch pitch. He didn't play. Max Daumann, God knows why he is on the. Why is he traveling with the team when he can play for under 21s? Player at 15, he should be playing games. But just to sit on the bench for the main team so it looks cool, it makes zero sense. He needs to play. He needs to get better. He needs to adapt and everything. Play him in under 21s consistently then. Don't call him up to the main team even though he's registered just because you don't have anyone to put on the bench. And that is another big thing. It's not sustainable. Atletico and Palace will be stern test. Yeah, Mateta scored hat-trick this weekend. Atletico Madrid against Diego Simeone. God knows what's going to happen there. We are playing tomorrow, which will be very interesting to see this evening. And we're going to have Atletico Madrid Champions League preview show as well. But I am worried. I'm maybe not worried as much now. Let's just put it that way. I'm not worried as much now because we are still getting 3 points on the board. But long term, this will bite us in the ass big time. Because at some point, it's going to dry up. Our over-reliance on set pieces is also very worrying. Our defenders are carrying the team pretty much. 1-0 to the Arsenal, 2-0 to the Arsenal. Okay, cool. If we win the league, fine. I'm all fine with that. But overall, set pieces cannot be your main thing. Because we saw it last year, that for a few months it all dried up. And what's going to be your solution then? Because so far, I would be okay scoring from set pieces consistently, like we are right now, let's just put it that way, if we also created chances from open play and we maybe scored one a game. We hit the post. We had, let's just say, a handful of chances, but we don't even have that. Like, that for me is the nuts part in all of this. Our over-reliance on set pieces is worrying. Exactly. Just like last year. It wasn't sustainable. It dried up and we were in big issues. Big issues. When Yeri doesn't play because he's in... Yeah, most likely. Most likely Arteta is quite heavily coaching him to become Martin Odegaard. Because when Yeri has a different style he wants to play, and this manager definitely not gonna be okay with that. Big up my boss. Hope you're doing well. We're going to see Rice with Mendy Merino midfield against Atletico. Most likely, there is a big possibility tomorrow the midfield trio is going to be Rice, Mendy, and Merino. Most likely, Martinelli is going to start left wing. Saka going to be right wing. Gyökeres at striker. Arteta will be shitting himself against Atletico, without shadow of a doubt. Next 2 home games we have in Champions League is Atletico Madrid and Bayern Munich. And those 2 games, if we want to finish in that top 8 without having those extra 2 games, if you, let's just say, finish 9th, we must win these 2 games if we want to secure that fully, if we want to have like somewhat confident chance to be in there. Because if we lose both, or even draw, it's going to be a big issue, no matter how you look at it. Because last year we finished 3rd in the group in the league group stage, which was all fine and dandy. Everyone was happy. But if you look at that league group stage, PSG wasn't there, Real Madrid was not there, Juventus, and all these teams, Man City even, all those teams were not there. They were somewhere in those 9th to 24th place or whatever, how low it goes. This year they're gonna be up there, which means getting into that top 8 is gonna be 10 times harder. And if you don't get in that top 8, it's going to be a struggle because you don't know who you're going to get in that elimination pre-stage. Because you can get a big team. Without shadow of a doubt, you can get a big team and you could be done. Yes, you can get another PSV and you get 7-1 and you're happy. But it might not be the case again. It might not be the case. Big up PW. Hope you're doing well. Arteta wants all the attacking players to be hybrid defenders when Yeri doesn't defend enough for Arteta. Exactly. When Yeri is a risk taker, he plays unorthodox. He plays the straight opposite pretty much how Arteta wants to play, which basically could be the biggest reason why he doesn't play. When Yuri wants to go forward, he wants to push the tempo, he wants to push forward, he takes risks with shots, with passes, with movements. And Arteta is pretty much known that he's very safe as a manager, and that reflects on the pitch in the ball recycling, in the ball movements laterally, not forwards. Like, it's very evident. I predicted 1-0. Yeah, I said 2-0. Don't know whether to be mad or just okay. That is the thing. Like, for me personally, if you lose a game, there's a way to lose it, right? If you lose 1-0 and you have done nothing all game, well, you're shit. That's on you. But if you lose 4-3, still by 1 goal, but you actually had a go at it, fair play. Fair play. You threw your hat in the ring and you saw what's going to happen. Like we should have done against Liverpool. But 1-0 against Fulham, I don't know what to make out of it, to be honest. Genuinely. Yes, Leno made some good saves. Rai also made some good saves. But overall, it was another underwhelming performance. Atletico can be tricky. They will be tricky. Another 1-0 or 2-1. Against Atletico, I think it's going to be rough. It definitely is going to be rough for us. Very rough. Because it's Simeone. They know how to do things. They play very hard football. Going forwards, being back, it's going to be big trouble situations. Will be interesting to see how our defense fare against them, though. Will be interesting to see how our defense fare against Sorloth, Alvarez, Griezmann, and all these men. Raspadori, Simeone. It will be very interesting to see how our midfield is going to deal with their midfield. You know, Koke, Llorente, and all these men. Who else was there? The guy we won in the midfield, Vallejo, or however he was called. Like, the defense may be a bit of a rough one. Yes, they don't have big names in the defense, to be honest. If you look at Atletico Madrid's team, yeah? If you look at Atletico Madrid's squad, technically speaking, right, there are not that many big names. There are not that many big names. Like, seriously. Yes, you have your Jan Oblak. You have Lenormand, who is decent. Hanko, Jose Maria Jimenez, Longley, he should be there. Ruggeri, Galan, right? They're not big names. Yes, Llorente, right back, right mid / center mid. Pubil just signed from Almeria. Really liked Pubil. Barrios, this is the guy I thought about. Barrios, right? They have Conor Gallagher. Koke, Alex Baena, a guy I wanted desperately at Arsenal. I wanted him desperately at Arsenal. For me, he was the closest thing we could have had to Santi Cazorla at Arsenal in a very long time. And to add on top of all that, he went only for £45 million, same price we bought Calafiori for, by the way. That is the nuts part. I would have loved to have Alex Baena at Arsenal. But yeah, like, if you look, they got Longley. Yes, they got. We are expecting tough one. We need to win one of them, 100%. As I was disappointing, Gyökeres was very poor. Well done, Calafiori and Saka. Yeah, Calafiori was our best attacker. Can't see Arsenal beating Let's Go or Palace. Well, we're going to see. They got Longley. Yeah, they got. But we'll see. Like, the thing is, in Diego Simeone's system, the style he plays, the way they grind the game out with the full team overall, Longley actually looks decent. That is the nuts part. It's just the fact that at Spurs he was meh, at Barcelona he was meh. But they know, but under Simeone they actually look very, very, very good. Got to dash. Big up to you. Ciao. Big up to you. Have a great Monday and have a great day. Yeah, Alex Baena, exactly. 100%. But yeah, it's gonna be a rough one. But yeah, if you even go forwards like Simeone, his son, Raspadori, Griezmann, Alvarez, Sorloth, you could argue that Alvarez and Griezmann are the biggest names in this team. That's about it. Rest of them are not that very well-known names unless you watch La Liga or you follow Atletico Madrid yourself. If we are looking from that point of view. And it is a worry. It is a worry. Simeone knows how to get the best out of his team, despite the fact that they don't have well-known names. Let's just put it that way. But Lenormand is a very good defender from Real Sociedad. Well, he used to play there, right? Pubil was one of my... I wanted to see him, how he looks in the future. Baena, I wanted at Arsenal. Would take Alvarez at Arsenal in that number 9 spot in a heartbeat. Because he's the best of both worlds for what we technically need as a number 9. He has the link-up play, the touch, and everything to create and everything, just like, well, technically from Havertz's point of view. And he has the finishing touch and finishing ability, if we look from Gyökeres' point of view. So in those terms, Alvarez is actually arguably the best of both worlds we could have gotten. Because if we look at Jesus, he has great ability, technical ability, decent passing. What's he's lacking? Finishing touch. And that has been the biggest issue. That has been the biggest issue overall. And I would argue, as I said, that Alvarez has best of both worlds in that regard. And he would have been technically ideal in that scenario. But we were not getting him last summer without nowhere close. So it will be interesting to see how we play against Atletico Madrid. Definitely will be interesting to see how we play against Atletico Madrid. But I'm expecting very rough, very painful game. It could be very boring game because Arteta wants control and he could play it safe. And Simeone, definitely, he will do a very good defensive work. And he's going to play on counters. Maybe he's going to go forward. It depends how he looks at the game. But he's most likely going to play it safe because he's going to be away. So, yeah, definitely. It's going to be an interesting one. Let me check this quickly. Atletico Madrid. I want to see how good is their defensive away record. Because that actually could be very interesting to compare. Atletico Madrid, right? Would be nice if the page loaded, yeah. Shooting, goalkeeping, La Liga. Away games. They're actually very decent away, which is the worrying part. It's not like they're nobodies. Atletico Madrid has the know-how. They know how to grind it out. They've been to Champions League finals, so definitely there will be a rough one. There will be something unique about this game that people expect and don't expect at the same time. It's definitely going to be one of those games that people are going to stress over for very, very heavily. Let's just put it that way. That would be the easiest way to put it because I'm personally very worried about the Atletico Madrid game. I'm not even thinking about Palace next week at home. Not even thinking about it one single bit. My full focus is on Atletico Madrid. And Atletico Madrid, yeah, what was their score against Osasuna? I think they won 1-0 or something like that on Saturday. They played in the evening. Yeah, they won 1-0. They won 1-0. We're going to talk about all of this even more tonight on the show as well, when we're going to do the preview for Champions League game. We're going to talk about it even more. But yeah, I don't know what to expect. I'm not going to lie. I'm expecting a Merino midfield, though. I'm expecting Merino in the midfield. I'm going to tell you that much. I am expecting Mikel Merino in the midfield over Eze. That I'm going to definitely tell you. But will it happen? Will it not? That's obviously on Mikel Arteta. But going back to Premier League, we are on top of the table, which is nice. Which obviously is very nice. The thing is, though, it's looking a bit worrying because, yes, Liverpool are not in the greatest of forms, and we maybe are not as worried about them right now as many other people would. I'm more worried about Man City. Because people say, oh, they're struggling, or oh, they're this, oh, they're that. But Haaland is in a phenomenal form, to say the least. Phenomenal form. And he's working some magic for them. He's carrying them to a certain extent. He already has 11 goals in 8 games. 11 goals in 8 games. Obviously, Semenyo is second. Mateta, after that hat-trick, is third. And you can see Bournemouth are only 4 points behind us. Man City are 1 win away. For me personally, we should be worried about Man City because they are 3 points behind, right? It's nothing. At the end of the day, it is nothing. We still need to go to Etihad. Let's not forget that. Even it comes to it, we still need to go to Etihad. And at the moment, City are playing without Kusanov, without Ait Nouri, both are injured, and they're also playing without Rodri, who is also injured. Yes, we have Havertz out, we have Odegaard out, we have this and that out. But if you compare Rodri, importance of Rodri to Man City, and for example, Odegaard's importance to Arsenal, I would say Rodri is tenfold times much more influential. Like Kusanov, the defense as well, they need defensive improvements, yes, and they coming back will be very important. For me personally, yes, those 3 players for City coming back arguably will be more important than for Arsenal, our injured players coming back. Yes, it will be great when they are back for rotation, but overall for Arsenal, we look the same as if they are in the team or they're not in the team. With Man City, with Rodri being in the team, they will look like a different team. Rodri does the link up, the defensive work, and everything perfectly. He can score a goal. He can do everything. So for me, that is a big worry. Yeah, we need to worry about City. They had very shaky start, but it looks like they're finding their ground slowly but steadily. They're finding their ground slowly but steadily. And City has this ability as well. They have ability to go on a run. They have. And we'll see. We'll see. Because if City goes on a, let's just say, 10-game winning streak, we'll see how that goes. Because Arsenal need to go on 5-10. Well, Arsenal are now on a 2-game winning streak. We need to go on about 10-game winning streak to do anything. We need to do these things. We need to actually win all the games before this international break comes in November. Because after the November international break, right? After international break in November, look at this. We have Palace, Atletico, Brighton, Burnley, Sunderland, Slavia Prague. These are the games we all need to win. We need to win all of these games. But if you look after November international break, right, it's right here. We have Spurs at home, North London derby straight after international break. Then we have Bayern at home, Chelsea away, Brentford at home, Villa away, Club Brugge away, which I expect to be a super tough game. I expect that because Club Brugge, the Belgian team at home, is a very tough opponent for any of the teams. They know how to play football and they can bop you off the park if you're not fully prepared. And those are the first 6 games we have straight after November international break. So we need to win all these games in Premier League, all the 4 games we have right now, which should be all wins. Let's be real. The game against Palace at home, Burnley away, and Sunderland away, all these games are must-win games for me. Not to mention Brighton in the Cup, which is going to be also a very tough one because Brighton have won both games 6-0, ironically enough, and they have beaten teams that are better than Port Vale. Slavia Prague should be a win without shadow of a doubt. We need to prepare ourselves because in November we have a very tough start after international break. And in December as well, it's not getting easier in December, even if you think about it. Because we have Liverpool at home on... wait, that's January, never mind. In December, we have to play Wolves at home. Should be a win, but you never know with Arsenal. Everton away is going to be hell. Brighton at home, Villa at home. And if we start already 2026, right? 2026, we have Bournemouth away on January 3rd. Bournemouth away. Liverpool at home. Forest away. Inter away. United at home. Those games, it's going to be hell on earth. We need to build up some cushion, if possible, right now, if something goes wrong. We definitely need to do that as well. Rodri is not the same player after ACL, though. He will take some time if he can return to its best. Definitely, 100%. He already was back. Unfortunately, he got injured for City already. Just before the international break hit, he got subbed off for Nico Gonzalez. But Nico Gonzalez also is doing a very decent job. He is doing a very decent job. What is Manchester City's schedule looking at the moment? They have Villarreal tomorrow at the same time as we have, of course, Atletico Madrid. Then they have Aston Villa away on Sunday. That definitely is going to be a nuts one. Aston Villa on Sunday. And this game, I think there will be a lot of riding on this game. Let me show you this. Because just before we go into international break, Man City play Liverpool at the Etihad. I think that game could be a big swing in terms of who is going to go for glory, who might be falling back, and also it will depend obviously on injuries that both teams have, but the game's at Etihad, so it's going to be a rough one. Definitely, it's going to be a rough one. Bournemouth at home also, it won't be a walk in the park. Like, I also don't expect that to be that easily, so we'll see. We're definitely going to see how that's going to develop. But yeah, it's not looking great. I'll just put it that way. It definitely is not looking great. But 3 points on the board at the moment. We are 3 points clear as well, which is great. I'm not going to lie, it is great. Liverpool are struggling, which is good for us, let's be real. Man City, though, is the biggest worry because it feels like they are building up momentum. And that is just the way Arsenal do things, isn't it? Because over the course of the last 3-4 seasons, we had a chance to win the league on multiple occasions, pretty much every single season for the last 3 years. And we didn't do it. Yes, we went against City, we get a very tough City, and we didn't. We were 8 points clear, we were 2 points behind, and now against Liverpool, again, we had a chance, and we didn't take it. And I was saying this for the last summer as well, and now this summer, that with the fact that we haven't recruited properly, we have wasted money on certain players, right? And the fact that we have screwed up the 2 chances we had, or 3 even, to win the league right now, other teams are going to catch up. Because for the last few seasons, it was a 2-horse race. Us against City or us against Liverpool. Right now, it is looking like if it could be, again, us against City. Or it could get worse, and there could be multiple teams. Not just 2. Not just a couple of teams, it could be multiple teams involved into all of this, which again will be a massive worry, a massive issue, and we all know how Arsenal deal with the pressure when it's presented to them. They instantly fold. And for me, that is a big worry. Again, a big, massive worry, to say the least. Honestly, I don't know how it's going to go, where it's going to go, how it's going to finish, but I don't know what to even feel at the moment, because I want to win the league. I want to win the Champions League. I want to win the Cup. I want to win everything, right? Will we win something? Time only will tell, right? We are still in all 4 competitions. As long as we are in it, there is a chance we can win. There is a chance. For me, still the biggest drawback to all of these things is the manager. Because this team hasn't won anything as a unit. This manager has won 1 COVID FA Cup, and that's about it. So, and since then, he has none of the players who were playing there. He has none of them right now. Technically, he has, but Martinelli was injured. He didn't play the finals. Saka was on the bench. He didn't play. Besides that, he has none of them. Absolutely none of them. He has been them all, and it's a big worry right now. Because for us to win something, we need to know how it is to feel. And as Pep said, he loves to win the Carabao Cup mid-season when it's in March, just so it gives that extra kick to the team so they can go on to the end part of the season. It kind of gives them that second wind, let's just put it that way, that extra second wind. And for Arsenal, we don't even have the regular wind, because we can be up there, but we cannot get it over the line. Because there is that inevitable impending doom feeling when we, as an Arsenal fan, that somehow we're going to screw it up. Somehow we're going to shoot ourselves in the foot. Because so far, the way Liverpool are struggling, and we have a better team than City, we look more controlled defensively than City. The unfortunate part is that City can't score goals. We cannot, right? It looks like we should be winning this league without shadow of a doubt. Right? Then again, it has been the talk for the last, 2, 3, 4 seasons that we should be winning the league. We are in the best spot to win the league. And we have never done it. We have never done it. Because there's always been some obstacles that we somehow cannot get over. Or sometimes even we make the obstacles ourselves to help to make the challenge even harder. We were building the team slowly, steadily, patiently, but patience runs out. Time is running out if it hasn't already run out pretty much. Do we have enough good enough team to finish in top 4 consistently? Yes, we do. Is this team built for winning? Yes, it is. Can this team win something? Yes, they can. Will they win something? No goddamn idea. As we talked about it about 20 minutes ago. Worry about Gyökeres? Yes, there is. Is there a big worry about Gyökeres at the moment? No, there's not at this second. At the same time, a better manager definitely would help the situation. Then again, if Arteta walks, let's just say after Champions League game against Atletico Madrid, because I don't see expecting him right now, right? You get a random announcement that Mikel Arteta has decided to walk. Who will Arsenal sign? Who they gonna get? Because the nuts part is, if you asked me this last summer, not this summer that just went, right? But last summer, summer 2024, I would say, I don't know. I am worried. I don't trust this ownership. I don't trust this sporting director, this management, to make the proper signing. The thing is, though, right now, with Andrea Berta coming in, with Josh looking like he's more interested than ever in Arsenal he has ever been, as weird as it will be saying this right now, I have a bit more faith that we could actually make the right decision. The question is, who? Because maybe Arsenal are just gonna if wing it till the summer and then they're gonna get the proper manager. Maybe. Or they're gonna sign someone mid-season. But who will want to leave mid-season unless the club is in a big turmoil and the manager might be thinking about a way out? Or all the good managers, they most likely will not want to leave. Because only one that isn't a bit of a turmoil is Hansi Flick at Barcelona, because of the double standards, because Juan Laporta forced him to play Lamine Yamal when he should have been benched. What he did with Rashford a month ago, he kind of got undermined in his position in the club, right? Besides that, yes, we could get Giselle from Al Ahly, right? But would we get, let's just say, Luis Enrique? He has said he wants to coach in Premier League, but why would he leave PSG, who are on the top right now, for example? Right? Ancelotti is with Brazil, just signed. So he signed for the World Cup next year. So there is no chance he would leave, because I think he doesn't allow, because his pride and his as a human factor would play a massive role. He won't leave. We are not signing Inzaghi from Al Hilal. He just signed a deal of 22 million. Arsenal are not paying that and not buying out his 45 million deal, 50 million deal. So if we are looking like that, it's actually a weird one. Yes, we could get Glasner. Yes, we could get Iriola. We could get some of those managers. Will it work? Who knows? Could it work? Yes, it could. Could it not work? Yes, it also could not work. That is the nuts part. Nothing is a guarantee. At the same time, there is this impending weird feeling that at some point it has to happen. The question is, where do the Cronkies draw the line? How long till the line gets drawn? That for me is the next big question. Let's just say we crash out in Champions League, right? Is that enough? Is that enough? Because by the time Champions League group stage is done, well, we're going to get in Champions League group stages in the elimination stages, right? Because we are too good not to get into them, right? Let's just say we have the pre-elimination round of 32 game, right? And we get someone insane and they beat us. If we crash out then, is that enough? I'm not so sure. By then we could be out of Carabao Cup. Will that be enough? Who knows? Out of FA Cup? Who knows? Because somehow, obviously, top 4 finish is more important than anything at this stage. But when we finish 3 times out of top 4 under this manager, nobody seemed to care. That is the nuts part. Nobody seemed to care. I don't know. It's a massive discussion needs to be taken, because this cannot continue with the Gyökeres struggles, same mistakes, same issues, the game, the style, the way we play. It's unacceptable for me personally as an Arsenal fan. It feels very rough. It feels very unpolished. It feels like we struggle. We straight up struggle to create and do something, which is very, very confusing. This team, for me personally, is meant for attacking, right? Which makes a lot of sense given the players we have, the creative abilities technically we have, and the firepower we have up front. Even our wing backs could overlap, could invert. They both have decent finishing. They have decent shots and everything. So technically speaking, this team actually could do some bits in the attack. But we see none of that. That for me is the biggest worry and the biggest question. Why? Why we are basically slowing things down? Why we are not actually going for it? Because this manager insists for all the players to defend, for the strikers to come back to park the bus and everything, for wingers to come back and help wingbacks. It kind of makes no sense. Because if you spend $1 billion on a team, they should be able to stand on their own 2 feet. You should not feel the necessity for everyone to cover everyone's ass. Let's just put it that way. Let them stand on their own 2 feet. Gabriel can do it. Saliba can do it. Simba can do it. Calafiori is an issue. Rice should be able to do it. Zubimendi, we'll see defensively, because I'm still not convinced about him at all. As a number 6, as a low number 6 especially. Like, they should be able to do things on their own, but somehow we insist playing a way that everyone helps everyone. Yes, us keeping clean sheets, fantastic, phenomenal. We don't concede, which is great, which means we need to score technically less to win a game. The thing is, we struggle to score even. And set pieces so far have been the only thing that we basically have been saved by. But just like last year, at some point, it's gonna dry up. It's gonna get figured out. It's gonna end. And so far, there haven't been much indications, much inkling that from open play, we actually can do the job. There have been not. Which is the biggest worry of them all. Let's just put it that way. Big up, Mark. Big up, big up, big up, big up. For me, after 7 years, you should be able to go anywhere and beat every team like Man City did 2-3 years ago. Yes. But still we struggle to beat Fulham. For me, it's not good enough. Exactly. After 7 years, billions spent, all the processes, all the phases, everything, you should be that we basically win everything. Worst case scenario, we get to finals in every competition. Worst case scenario at the end of the day. Maybe Champions League is a bit different story, but we should be in the final of FA Cup, in Carabao Cup. We should be winning league. 3 times finished second in the league. 5 points behind, 2 points behind, and then, 10 points behind. Would have been more, let's be real, if Liverpool didn't go to party in Ibiza. Let's just say it as it is. They started partying in game week 33, 34. That's about it. It could have been much more. At the same time, if there were more games in Premier League, right, even 2 games more, there's a big chance City would have overtaken us. Newcastle might have even overtaken us. We wouldn't finish second. We would finish 4th. Like, at the moment, there should not be an instance where we struggle. But we struggle more than we have struggled seasons before. Which is the weird part in all of this, after all the money and everything that has happened. Which should not be the case. We struggled to beat Port Vale, to some extent. Let's not over-exaggerate too much, but it wasn't great against Port Vale, was it? We struggled against Fulham. We struggled pretty much against every team until we score. Obviously, until when we score, the morale changes, the psychology kicks in for both teams. One on the positive side, one on the negative, which makes a lot of sense. At the same time, there shouldn't be an excuse that we barely can do something against Leeds, barely can do something against West Ham, barely can do something against Fulham. There is no excuse. Oh, he's learning on the job. 7 years in and you're still learning on the job. Well, F me. If I was at a job for 7 years and my excuse was I'm still learning on the job to do the basic things properly, I would be fired on the spot without any questions asked. Because somehow after 7 years it's the same mistakes, same issues still persist, which is the biggest worry of them all. In terms of player management, player rotations, adjustments, system style, it's the same. And not to mention for the last 3 years, it's been something has gone very, very left. Let's just put it that way. In terms of how we play. Because Arteta has proven and he has shown that he can play attacking football, which is exciting, which is amazing, and it brings results. And he was not afraid to do that when we didn't have any backups and we didn't have squad depth. Right now, we have the squad depth, technically, and as everyone wants to say. We technically also have enough quality of the bench that we can do it on consistent basis. Yet somehow we persist on sitting back, on playing controlled, on playing pragmatic, basically playing insomnia-curing football, and we play to set pieces. Set pieces, at least for the way how I was growing up, set pieces, right? It was good to see some teams score it during the game, but that wasn't the focal point. Most of the time, set pieces were the main weapon that was used by smaller teams to have any chance against big sides. That was back in the day. Right now, thanks to Mikel Arteta, set pieces is the main plan for us to do anything on the pitch. Because from open play, even if we create, our finishing is very subpar, very not good enough, to say the least. Last year as well, when was it? It was against Man United, right? The game we won in the league at home, 2-0, right? Amorim's second or third game in charge. We had 2 point something, or no, sorry, 1.6, 2.1, 1.9 XG, almost 1.9 XG, I think it was. Wait, let me check this. Arsenal 2-0 Man United. Arsenal 2-0 Man United last year. Arsenal Man United last year. Okay, I'm gonna find this in a second. Arsenal Man United 2-0 12, like this one, right? I think it was like this. Where is it? I want to find this now quickly. I want to find this. Defending, duels, passes. So it is like, okay. I want to find this properly because there was something to it. Arsenal Man United 2-0. Yeah. Give me a second. I need to find this because overall it was, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna show you this, but you'll get the gist of it. Let's just put it that way. You'll get the gist of it. I hope so, at least. Here it is. Arsenal versus Man United, for example. That was second or third game Amorim was in charge last year in December, right? We won 2-0. Saliba and Timber scored. Both were from corners. 2 set-piece goals we had, right? Here it is. We had 2.16 XG, right? People play this as the biggest masterpiece in the world. 2.16 xg. XG in the first place, I can see it, I understand it, but it's far too to take as the best things in sliced bread. It's a useful but very useless metric at the same time. It should not be held like the Holy Grail. But 2.16 xg. On paper, if you look at it like this, it sounds fine because we scored 2 goals technically, right? However, if you deep dive deeper into this xg bit, Arsenal had 0.56 xg from open play. Open play 0.56 or 0.36, something like that. Well, basically 0.5 xg from open play. 1.6, 1.7 xg came from set pieces because Man United at the time were one of the worst teams in the league from set piece situations. We had about 13 corners. We could have scored from about 8 of them because ball just hit the post or barely passed the post. And people hold it like it's Holy Grail at the end of the day. It's not. It's not. Set pieces is good, but if it's in your main source of goals, it's just a matter of time until it basically gets ruined. It gets shut down for you at the end of the day. 2.16 xg sounds great. But when you deep dive into it and you see that almost 1.8 xg comes from set pieces and just 0.4 from open play, it is a worry because that just shows that Amorim already figured out how to nullify Arsenal from open play, and he just lost in the sheer ability to defend corners. Obviously, it sounds great that we can score from set pieces, but open play is a big worry. And after the 1-0, he hooked Eze for Merino with 30 minutes. Yeah, he played for a win. He just parked the bus in that regard. We play Fulham, they are 14th, and you shut down the game after 1-0 shows that Mikel doesn't... Exactly. With the subs, with the game management, with the plan B, plan C during the games, adjustments and everything. It's the same stuff. Nothing has changed over the years, which is the biggest worry. Big up, Dre. Big up, Dreadly Fame. Big up. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. But yeah, people, I think on that note, I'm going to end today's stream for now. I'm going to be live this evening, at least should be. We'll see if everything's fine. But I'm going to go live this evening as well. Atletico Madrid versus Arsenal Champions League preview is going to be on the cards. Hope you enjoyed your stay. If you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new. Have a nice day. Thank you for joining me in an unusual morning stream. Hope you're feeling great, and hopefully I'm going to see you all this evening as well. Peace.